All right, what's going on, guys? T Torres back here for another video. So if you didn't watch the last video, Connor and I installed the header pipe on his 2023 Benelli TNT 135. And today as well, we're going to be installing the Chimera. Big shout out to them and Steady Garage for hooking us up on both these parts. So we're going to be installing the intake as well. So go ahead and show them what we got.
All right, guys, so like he said, today we're going to be installing the Chimera intake, basically modification on this to allow it to breathe better. I believe this gives you, they said 3/4 horsepower more than the stock factory.
So it's probably safe to say the intake paired with the header pipe, easy 1 horsepower gain.
I'd say 1 to 1 1/4.
And Connor and I both, we really haven't seen any, not that I've really looked, but an actual thorough how to install video on the intake. So that's what we're going to be providing for you guys today. So as you've seen, Connor just took the seat off the bike, and here is the intake, and we're going to figure out how to do this. Let's get to it. All right, so first things first, we're going to take these 2 Phillips head off the top of the airbox lid. As you can see here, one right here, and then there's one right there. All right, so there's actually 4 Phillips head screws. You got one directly here and one directly falls right behind it, and then the same thing on the other side.
And also, guys, like Tyler said, neither one of us have seen videos. I've looked. I can't find anyone where someone has done like a step-by-step tutorial, so that's what we're going to be providing. So bear with us as we figure this out just as you would, but you're going to benefit because in the future you're going to have this step-by-step walkthrough.
Yep, so let's get to it. Boom, 4 screws out. Should be the top of the lid with a filter. Oh yeah, that thing sits way down in there. So I'm guessing we're...
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. So I'm guessing we may have to remove this box.
All right, guys, so once you take out those 4 screws, you're going to see the entire filter and snorkel basically all come out as one piece. And then this is what the filter looks like. And as you can see, it's super great quality engineering as the glue that holds this filter on is already peeling away. All right, guys, so as you can see, we kind of got some stuff. Like I said before, we're figuring this out as we go. So obviously, first step, take off the 4 bolts, and then there is a hose clamp holding the airbox onto the carburetor. To access that, you have to take off this side panel, which means you have to take the rear seat off. And this side panel has a 5/32 hex key here, and right here on top, and then a small Phillips head right here. And then to take off the rear seat, you have 2 5/32 hex keys also right here.
And we took that off to give us room. There is a hose clamp down here at the bottom where the intake goes into the actual carburetor.
And what I would say is when you're putting it back on, I am going to do this, and I recommend y'all, is spinning the hose clamp so you can access it from the side. You don't have to take all this off again in the future. The next thing you have to do to loosen up the airbox is there's 2 10mm bolts, one right here and one right on the other side to loosen those.
And then now there is it's really hard to see.
Yeah, so there's a hose clamp.
So like where Connor's
right
finger
here.
is, there's another hose clamp that you need to get some needle nose pliers. You're going to pinch it and then we'll pull it back on the hose, and that should allow us to freely move the intake out. And then as well, down inside, see if I can't get a good visual, but down inside here there's another breather tube as well that we're going to take the needle nose. There's 2 of them, squeeze them together, push them down and pull them out from the tube as well, and then it should allow the intake to come off freely.
All right, guys, so the Benelli is,
as you can see,
pretty crazy. This was way more in depth than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was just going to be undo a couple bolts, twist the thing, pull it out. But in their brilliant designs, you pretty much have to take a crap load of stuff off. So I'm going to go everything that we pulled off so far. And if I repeat something, my bad. I can't really remember what we've already kind of covered. So first thing is, all right, in your battery tray, you've got, oh, come up here. So you've got 2 bolts right here, right, which is, there's 2 bolts here and 2 bolts on the exact same other side, which bolt the airbox to this bracket. That's the first step you're gonna have to take in order to drop the battery tray out. After that, you're gonna wanna take off this bracket, which is this guy.
That's the cable for the seat.
Cable for the seat. You don't have to take it off, but it just gives you more room to work in there. So we went ahead and took it off. And then the next thing you have to do is pull out the battery, obviously, so this thing isn't super heavy. You're gonna need to unbolt the ECU. All right, those are still two 5/32 hex screws. Everything we did so far has used a 5/32 Allen key and a 10 mil wrench. So that's at least a plus, and you're not all over the place. And then if you want to come around here, all right, and then if you have a license plate bracket, as you saw in the other video, you're gonna have to take this off because this actually bolts to the frame. So you take those out. You have two 5/32 Allen keys here, two here, and two down here. Now, once you take all these off, you should be able to drop the whole rear plate, basically.
And then one of the things that he didn't mention, you obviously have to unbolt the ECU, the computer, which is all tied to the battery. Unplug the battery. There's a breather hose on this side of the intake connected over here.
And one here.
And then there is a breather hose
It's hard to see, but
over here as well. It needs to be disconnected. And then the actual intake itself connected to the carburetor was a flathead or Phillips head.
it was a Phillips head.
It was a Phillips head. So after all of that, and probably a little bit more than the amount of time I wanted, probably about 45 minutes of figuring this out. The as you can see, the airbox is
Way more pliable.
way more easier to come out than
Hopefully.
should be. Hopefully we can twist it out and turn it sideways just like that. Holy crap! Screw that damn thing, man.
Wow.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, look at it. This is like literally a bare bones bike now. So now we've got a full. We might as well do a full frame off restoration now.
No.
But anyways, so that
430cc swap coming.
yeah. So as you can see here, this is where let me get you. That's where we got to put the Chimera pipe into. But there was just so much crap that you have to remove. No wonder nobody really covers an in-depth how-to video on how to take the factory airbox off.
So one thing, there are a couple videos out there we kind of looked at to reference because we ran into a thing stuck. So some of the videos you'll see, they almost completely take all plastics off to include this. They unbolt the gas tank, and they go way more into depth than we did. You literally, the only plastics you have to take off are the two sides to give you more access to some of the breather hoses and this back panel. That's all you have to take off to be able to get this out. You don't have to take all these plastics off, the gas tank. We learned from their mistakes, and it just adds way more to the process. And we'll make sure that when we're putting everything in, we'll go over some important things to make sure to bolt down, like your grounding wire for your ECU, stuff like that. We'll make sure to cover all that, just so you have a checklist when you're reinstalling everything.
Go ahead and grab the. Let's go ahead and unbox the packaging for the pipe.
Really? Double plastic.
Yeah. Is that thing? Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
Maybe include a little sticker.
I imagine it would go like what? Like yep, just like that.
Probably.
Super simple once you get the 45 million screws and bolts and nuts that you have to get off. Remove the battery, remove the computer, remove the license plate, blah blah blah, etc.
Yep.
A couple that goes on there, and
then the cone filter.
okay, super easy. So let us get everything set in place, get everything kind of somewhat tight, and then we'll show you what the intake looks like on the bike.
Way more disassembly than there is assembly.
Exactly. All right, so Connor is putting the silicone boot onto the carburetor now, and we went through a little back and forth debate on removing the charcoal canister filters things, and pretty much what we're reading, some say there's a noticeable difference, some say it's not really worth it, and then Connor was like, let's see some dynos before and after the canisters being removed. So we're gonna leave it as is.
And guys, my judgment on this is literally based off of high performance like sports cars. and stuff of people doing
Not 135cc bike.
yeah, not 135cc. So pretty much the consensus on it is if it does anything, it's minimal at best. I mean, obviously, I'm guessing like if you're racing, then yeah, it'd probably be beneficial. But the amount of time it's going to take for this to clog, which is a lot of people's argument, this bike will be probably rusted to the ground by the time this charcoal filter clogs up and actually starts causing an issue.
So this intake hose that we have here, we have it zip tied onto this pipe here because the clamp that it comes with, it's just too big. It doesn't fit. So we got it nice, secured, and snug, and you can't pull that hose off with our Redneck Engineering that we have on there. So as you can see, we got the boot on. We haven't tightened anything down yet, but we're one more step closer of being done, getting everything buttoned up. It's been a heck of an afternoon. We also did the header pipe as well today, so we're gonna get everything buttoned back up, and we'll tell you what we did along the way. All right, so just to catch you guys up, like I said, we're gonna leave the charcoal filters. We cut maybe, I don't know, 3 inches off of this breather hose here. Got it zip tied here. Got the entire intake is mounted and ready to go. Now we just need to reassemble everything back, and we can fire it up and see if we get any induction noise. All right, we got everything put back together, and we're gonna start the bike for the first time with the new intake. All right, that is going to do it for today's video. That was our little install video on the Chimera intake for the TNT 135. A lot more labor intensive than what Connor and I thought it was going to be. But like I said, we left the charcoal canister, etc. The biggest thing is when you're doing this, you got to take off the plastics, the battery tray, unbolt the ECU and all that stuff, and then you'll have plenty of room to get the factory airbox out of the way, which there's just no other way that you're going to be able to get that airbox out of there. Yeah. So with that being said, that's all the time we have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, leave this video a big thumbs up, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.